What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Automotive Life. My name is Lucky, and today we're going to be talking about why CarGurus sucks. Now, I want to make a disclaimer. This is my personal opinion. I recommend you do your research and see if CarGurus is a thing for you as a consumer or as a dealer. So this video is going to be a good insight because I've seen a lot of them online, and they either talk about the consumer side or they talk about the dealer side. In this video, we're going to talk about both sides, the pros and cons with each one. But before I get in the video, if you guys please subscribe to my channel. We're almost at 15,000 subscribers, which is awesome. Thank you guys so much again. We post amazing content like this all the time, so make sure you click the notification bell. If you could smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, it helps me find more amazing people like you. And without any more shameless plugging, let's get into the video. So the inspiration for this video came yesterday because, as you guys know, it's right around tax season. This is, as a dealer, is one of our most busiest times. And I got a call from our CarGurus rep asking us if we would like to pay for more premium services and everything else. And you know, I really got fed up with it. So I'm going to kind of tell you my experience of what happened on the dealer side and how it affects you on the consumer side as well. So we're going to start off with the consumer side. So let's say you're a customer and you're looking for a vehicle, and you say you're looking for a 2019 Nissan Altima, under 30,000 miles, X amount of dollars. And let's say I have one on my dealership. Now, I'm one of the few people that when I put my prices on the car, it's the actual price. So if I put, let's say, $13,995, and you're looking at it and you're like, wow, that's a great deal. But then you go down below me and you see that there's another car below me that's maybe $12,995, so $1,000 cheaper. Naturally, the customer is going to be like, well, I want to go with the cheaper one because it's a better deal, quote unquote, through CarGurus. One of the things they don't tell you, if you read the fine print on the ads, and it actually say there, CarGurus is not liable for any type of incorrect pricing, any extra fees, dock fees, stuff like that, as well as the dealer. So there is no accountability. So as the consumer, you're basically being deceived as far as when it's telling you the actual price, because that is not the actual price. So you'll go in there and you'll basically bypass my car, go into this other dealer, but my price includes, dock fee, all my other fees, everything else. The only thing you have to pay is sales tax because we don't know what it is, because we don't know if you're trading in a car or if you're financing it. So those are two different things, but that's why we don't put sales tax in the actual price. But all my fees are listed. My price is my real price. So if it's $13,995, when you come to my dealership, it's $13,995. So now I'm being pushed to the bottom of the page, if not all the way to the back, because my car, quote unquote, is the highest price. So the consumer is basically going for the cheapest price, which is supposed to be the best deal, but it's really not. So now this consumer goes into the store and says, hey, I found this Nissan Altima for $12,995. And the sales guy's like, sure, Mr. Customer, come on in, sit down, we're going to work up the numbers. It's $12,995. $1,000 dock fee, whatever, $500 destination fee, $1,000 recon fee. It's like $3,000 more than what the customer saw. And then there's no protection for the consumer, because the consumer will be like, well, no, CarGurus said it was $12,995. And the dealer is going to be like, no, it's $12,995 plus, all of our docks and fees and everything else. So now the consumer's upset. He thinks that every car on that website is the exact same thing. So my car, even though it's truly listed for $13,995, I'm going to fall to the wayside because I'm quote unquote overpriced, and the person's going to think that my car is going to be $13,995 plus fees, plus docks, plus everything else. So that's what hurts you on the consumer end. Now on the dealer end, I feel like it's almost making you be deceptive. When I put a vehicle price up there and I see that my car is overpriced, even though technically it's a great deal, they do this on purpose. So, oh, well, you gotta lower your price. You gotta make it a better deal. It's like they're twisting your arm. And the worst part about it is I pay $3,800 a month for CarGurus to tell me that my stuff is overpriced. So that's one of the big things that kind of upset me, which I'll go into here in a little bit, but let me finish this part. Like I said, I'm paying $3,800 and they price my car at overpriced. Now, you as a dealer, you want to be competitive. You see all these other people and you're thinking, well, I bought my car back a book, which means you basically got a good deal on it. Why is my car a unfair deal or overpriced if my car is the cheapest one online? And then you look online and you see the other cars that you've seen at auctions, because I've done it before. I've actually bought 2 Altimas from Hertz Rental Car, and I got them for the exact same price as my friend that owns another dealership before me. So we bought these cars at auction for $13K flat, all of them. And we both paid the same price, everything else. Mine online was $15,995. His online was $13,500. He put $500 above what he purchased it, which is the auction price. So that's the actual true price of what he paid. But he charges a $1,700, God, I can't remember the fee. He has a stupid fee. And then he charges you a $1,000 doc fee, plus, and then tax and everything else. So you're about 3 or 4K above what he puts it up there. And that's the problem with CarGurus. There is no way to see if this is a true good deal. Now, one of the next things that affects the consumer as well as the dealer is their so-called algorithm for a great deal. So I putting up cars where, you know, perfect example, I had a Tahoe, an LTZ, fully loaded leather, navigation, had extra like custom stuff done to it. You know, it was a great car. Everything in my area was about $26,000, a similar year, make, and model, and everything else. I put mine at 24 because I got it for a really good deal. As soon as I posted on CarGurus, overpriced. And I couldn't figure out why. I'm like, why is this overpriced? This is a screaming deal. This is a fully loaded LTZ Tahoe. So we start scrolling through, and I'm looking at the cars that's competing with mine. They're Tahoes, but they're not LTZs. They're like LSs, LTs, you know, stuff with, you know, regular leather. They're not all the bells and whistles, running boards, stuff like that. And it put me in the back page. So I call up CarGurus like, hey, my car, look at the Kelley Blue Book of this car, and I ran the book on this car. There's a $4,000 difference, and mine is still a good deal compared to this guy's, but mine has more features. CarGurus is like, well, our algorithm picks out the numbers and picks out the information, and it is what it is. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm screwed. But then they're like, no, if you pay for our premium service, which is another, I think, $1,500, so then I'll be paying close to $5,000 a month, I can boost my ad so I'm not on the back page. I can be somewhere in the front. And I'm like, yeah, but you still tell everybody that my car is overpriced or an unfair deal. That's not right. You know, I go, you need to show all the numbers. And they're like, well, you know, you can pay for these extra services and you can add different options. So basically you can move the needle is what they're saying, but they're not going to say it. So, you know, that really upset me. I'm like, I'm already paying all this money for you to tell me my car's overpriced. And then I'm put on the back of the page, and you're still not going to help me unless I pay even more money to boost the ads that I'm already paying for to be on your website. And they're like, pretty much correct. So that was strike 2. Next one we put up was, so that was deceptive as far as, like I said, on the consumer side, because the customers is comparing not apples to apples, it's apples to oranges. So if you're trying to make an educated decision on, as a regular person trying to buy a car, technically my car was a better deal, but you're not going to know that because you're looking at the numbers. Most customers are not going to know the difference between an LT, LTZ, and the different option levels above that, you know? So there goes that one out the window. Another great one that CarGurus really messes up for us are trucks. Now, as a consumer end, once again, trucks are very highly optioned, and some of these options go up thousands of dollars. So a perfect example, we had a 4x4 Silverado High Country. Now, if you know what this truck is, you know that it's a very expensive truck. It's got all the features, you know, everything else. It's just a very, very nice truck. So they were putting our trucks against, once again, regular LT trucks that were 4x4 and LTZs. And this option, I believe, is like a $4,000 or $5,000 option. So we're trying to justify that, hey, our car is still cheaper than all these cars, but it's a good price because it's the cheapest High Country in town. And then on top of that, our car was lifted with wheels. So if you are a consumer and you're looking for a truck, and let's say your budget's, I don't know, $35,000 to $40,000, and you're scrolling through CarGurus and you're looking at the cars and the pricing, you know, these ones, basically whoever pays the most shows up first. You're always going to see sponsored ads. So I believe that's pretty much right from the get-go. They're hurting dealers, they're affecting dealers when it comes to that. But as a consumer, it's good because you're getting as much information as you can. But the downfall is my car, which is technically cheaper than everybody's and has, you know, extra options when it comes to lifting, suspension, everything else, I show up as unrecognizable because my car has all these features that their algorithm doesn't know how to book out, so it drops it all the way to the back page. So as a consumer, you're looking, you're like, wow, this truck's nice, this truck's nice. Unless you go 37 pages back, you are not gonna see my low mileage, lifted Chevy Silverado High Country fully loaded with 30,000 miles. And that is the problem that just set us off. I was like, we paid all this money and we're still getting pushed back. And the crazy thing is as we started looking at, our cars, we started seeing that the cars that we thought weren't good deals were coming up as good deals. So we tried to put some sort of method to the madness when it came to this algorithm, because I didn't want to make a video like this without having at least some clarification on myself so I can give my personal opinion. Now, we were upset about this. Once again, we called CarGurus. We're like, hey, we're paying all this money. Why can't you guys help us out? And they're like, you know what? I'll tell you what, we're going to give you 1 month of free boosting. So they gave me a boost. I boosted up a few of the cars, which was cool. It worked for a little bit, but we didn't really see any change of traffic. And all CarGurus kept doing was, look at the numbers. Look how many people go to your website. Look, this is all us. This is all us. And I have Google Analytics. I'm like, no, most of these cars came from like Auto Trader, Cars.com, a few other ones, and stuff like that. And they're like, well, they'll never promise you like sales. So when they want to charge me $5,000, I'm like, okay, do you guarantee 20 sales? They're like, no. Okay, well, can you at least guarantee me 10 sales? They're like, no. Okay, well, can you guarantee me 5 sales? Once again, they said no. Okay, how about 1 sale? Can you guarantee me 1 sale for $5,000 a month? No. They will not guarantee anything, but they will promise you that you'll get thousands of people looking at your cars. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? We'll just go ahead and we'll just go back to the basic service. So we went back to the basic service, and we decided to kind of play around with it and see what we can do. And anybody that's a dealer is going to understand this. So if you're a consumer and let's say you're looking at my site and you see that Chevy Silverado and you're like, wow, that's a nice truck. And you message me, hey, I'm interested in the truck. My name is Bob Smith. Can you please get back to me? So you send in your message with your information. So unless you're a premium service customer, I only get your email. I don't get your phone number. So it's another thing for us dealers to price up. But on the consumer end, you are going to get bombarded with hundreds of emails saying, we saw you like this Silverado. Would you like this Silverado? Would you like this Silverado? And then all of a sudden you get stuff that doesn't even nothing to cure. Hey, you know what? Do you want this Mercedes? Do you want this station wagon? Stuff that you're not even looking at. But now that CarGurus has your information, they're going to spam you. Now, this is bad for the consumer, but I'm going to tell you why this made me so upset as a dealer. So I'm paying, like I said, $3,800 a month for them to show my car. And you're a consumer that wants to buy my car. So that lets me know that you're interested in my vehicle. And there's nothing worse than like, okay, here's a lead, but then we're going to spam the hell out of this guy with everybody else's cars, not just yours, everybody's cars. Now, if they were to say, hey, you know what, check out this dealer, here's more of his inventory, like steer him towards me that brought the guy into the CarGurus site. But no, CarGurus will spam everybody else so they can get views on everybody else's page to show people, look, we're getting all these views. You should pay us more money. And that's the problem with CarGurus is, everybody feels that, oh, it's for the consumer. Technically, it's for the dealer because we pay all the fees. You guys don't as a consumer. You're just there scrolling online. So we're paying all the money. But like I said, it's these deceptive practices, which I know they're saying it's not. But in my personal opinion, that's what it feels like. They're lying to the customers on the price. They're lying to the dealers and forcing them to price their stuff extremely low. Then the customer is interested in a car, they can't even get to the dealer, and the dealer is basically getting his leads sold out to other dealers and paying for it. So that's why I'm so upset when it comes to dealing with this company. And I've reached out to them several times, and like I said, I've given them the opportunity. I've been with them for 3 years, and today it's over. I told them they can't basically guarantee me a sale. They won't give me any type of documentation. When I ask about how the algorithm works, they get very, very upset. So we decided to play a joke on them, and I put the car up and I called them. I was like, hey, I have a Hyundai Sonata that was wrecked in the front end. Okay, it has a clean title, but it's wrecked in the front end, and I priced it for right around the rest of the pricing of what the other ones were. But you could see from the pictures that the car's damaged, it's dented, you know, it's beat up and stuff like that. And through the algorithm, it gave it a great deal price. So we just let it sit there for a few days, you know, as it was gathering the data and getting views and stuff, and it was pretty funny. So when we called them up and we're like, hey, look, if you look at our account, you know, we only have 2 cars in the great deal section. You know, I was like, can you give me your personal opinion on why these 2 cars were great deals? So the first one we had was frame damage. So it had a dent in the A-pillar, and they considered it frame. So they whacked this back and told us it was a bad deal. So we put the car at 50% of the price of what it actually we bought it for, just to see if it would put it as a good deal. It finally did. The second one was that Hyundai Sonata. Like I said, the front end is smashed, both headlights are broken, bumper's damaged. I'll see if I can put a picture somewhere over here. And you know, we posted it up and we're like, hey, look at this car, look at this thing. It's beat up, it's ugly, it's got dents everywhere. Why is this a good deal? And they still, once again, would not explain their algorithm. And it was very upsetting, you know. So we told them, like, why is this such a great deal and the car looks like crap, but then our other cars that are great deals, not. So the gist of this is basically, as a consumer, CarGurus cannot tell you what a good deal is. What is the justification of a good deal? And that's why I believe that it's a very deceptive practice when it comes to that, because we don't truly understand what makes a great deal. Now, if they were to put it in black and white and say this is how their YouTube or their algorithm works, this is how everything works, this is how we break down the vehicles, but no, most of it is always price, because they know that consumers are driven by price. Price, price, price. Even though mine may be cleaner, mine may have a better Carfax, mine has maintenance records, mine has great aftermarket accessories that are not being able to be checked off on their system. So I'm getting penalized for it. So now my car is quote unquote overpriced. And if anybody's watching this that does trucks, I'm sure they're going to probably comment in the section below and tell you that it is 100% true. There's no way you could find a lifted truck with wheels and everything else for about $5,000 over a factory price of what a regular one goes for. But we had a few deals that were great deals that we posted them up, and we were still overpriced or, you know, unable to give a market price. And basically you get flagged and you go all the way to the back of the page. So unless the consumer wants to go through all 77 pages of trucks to find your truck, basically you're not being seen. So once again, like I said, this is my humble opinion. I recommend you do your own research and see what works best for you. But like I said, this thing just triggered me this morning, so I wanted to make a video, get it out to you guys. Once again, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't, please subscribe already. Smash the notification bell. Like I said, I'm going to post great content like this every single week. Also, if you could follow us on Instagram, automotive.life, I would truly appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next video.